What's going on, good people? Going up with this Impact Wrestling Turning Point review. It was a Impact Plus special. How often do they do that, Justin? The Impact Plus special?
Well, they did. They just recently started doing it was back in October. They recently started doing them again because they were doing this before like COVID hit,
Right.
but then they had to take a break from doing these for a while. But yeah, they're starting to do them again. I think they do them every month. But then like during like the main month, so like January they'll have an actual pay per view, and then during July they'll have Slammiversary, and then of course October they'll have Bound for Glory. So I kind of like that they have these Impact specials because it gives something for this network that they have. The like, oh, maybe I should subscribe to this. Maybe see what's coming on this month. So I think it's
Right.
pretty cool.
Right. I didn't get to catch all the matches on the card here, but I think we're going to do more of an abbreviated type review. Not talk about everything that went down, like Eddie Edwards and Daivari, that I didn't care about. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about Eddie Edwards and Daivari, but I didn't get a chance to go back and watch it. I don't know if it was good or not. I haven't
there
seen
was
Daivari in years.
I mean, wasn't really anything special about the match. I mean, the right guy went over here because they weren't really having Daivari on TV that much. Like he hasn't been on any episodes of Impact. This was just like kind of a random match. I mean, it kind of helps out Eddie Edwards because boosts him up to that back up to that main event picture. But I don't really think this didn't do anything for Daivari, and who knows? I mean, he kind of was looking a little heelish, so I don't know if they're going to have him more on TV. Maybe have him join the team of like Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock, and I think Chris Bay's even a part of that now. I mean, they're like making a whole faction, so who knows if Daivari joins that?
Right. I'm not sure what they're doing with Daivari. That's why I wasn't really interested in this match. I probably should have watched it just to kind of see what was going on, but I also didn't get to watch the Go Home show to know why this match happened and what was my reason for caring about it. So that's why I never went back and watched it. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have to kind of catch up on what's up with Daivari and Impact because, of course, we had some return.
The last time we saw him was at Bound for Glory, and he hasn't been on any shows since.
Yeah, and two, like we saw some returns. There were some one-offs, like EC3 was a one-off.
Yeah, and who knows what he's doing with him?
Yeah, James Storm we thought was a one-off, but of course he had a tag team match a little bit later on in the show. But I mean, I'm probably going to go back and watch the match anyway, just kind of see what Daivari looked like, because this was just at the time I started the show late as well, so and the way the live show worked is you couldn't go back, you kind of had to just start it from where it was, so that kind of sucked. But I mean, nothing, still, I like the concept of these kind of Impact Plus specials to kind of get people interested. And it's also weird though, if they can do live programming, then why not include the pay-per-views at some point or something like that? I think that would be cool. Or even just Impact, like the regular shows, because I mean, I'm sure there's certain people that would that don't have access TV that would love to watch Impact live on Impact Plus, but don't get to watch it because they don't have access.
Yeah, I mean, they also have the Twitch. You can also watch it from Twitch, but some people don't want to watch it on Twitch because I just really can't stand sometimes Melissa Santos talking during every segment after. I mean, that's one thing I hate about watching it on Twitch, and all the ads on there. I just get tired of that. But yeah, I think that would be because I think that they might be starting to put these shows actually like Impact live on their network, so that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. The second match I know we had was the Tenille Dashwood and Jordynne Grace versus Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie, which I think this was good because kind of sets up the Knockouts tag team division and them reinvigorating that, add some teams into that as well. You kind of wonder, there doesn't seem to be a lot of women that we've seen team time and time again. Of course, I mean, I know you got Kiera Hogan and I don't know why I can't think of her name right off the top of my head, but you have those two who have worked together for a while. I think about it. I don't know. For some reason, I can't think of it, but yeah, they've teamed for a good bit, and that's kind of one of the teams that I think will be one of the front runners for this. But I have a feeling they're going to try to maybe go a different direction, possibly because Kiera Hogan may be the easy way out, just because they are a tag team. They are kind of not I wouldn't say established, but in a way established. But I mean,
And of course, they're going to have some teams like from the independents on the show, like on the in the tournament. So that's going to be pretty cool.
yeah. And hopefully that'll get some new signings too. Did you get a chance to watch this match?
I actually did watch this match. It was it was decent. I mean, of course, Tenille Dashwood, she was doing her whole, she only cared about herself, basically. There was one point where she just hopped off the turnbuckle and basically just, hopped off the ring apron, and this basically became a 2-on-1 handicap match. I mean, we already knew this, like, because I kind of like how they did back in October. They were kind of, they were going head to head with each other. But now, like, they're like, oh, Tenille Dashwood was begging for a partner for this tournament. And then Jordynne Grace goes like, no. I'm gonna let you. You need to prove yourself to me before we can actually be partners. And this was kind of the proving point here. So I kind of like that. That was built into a storyline here.
I think there's a little bit of star power in this team too, Justin. Having Tenille Dashwood and Jordynne Grace has made a name for herself too.
True.
Just being intimidating and of course winning the Knockouts title as well. So that I think that may give them a little bit of an edge too. I mean, because you got Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie, but it seems like they're heading more to a split, for a split than they are, staying together.
But they did look pretty dominant when they actually won the match, and they looked like really happy. And also, another thing about the match, like, okay, so they were. Oh, what was I saying here? Oh yeah, about the Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. They were looking like really dominant, and the thing with Tenille Dashwood, she, like I said, she only cares about herself, and she just kind of left Jordynne Grace high and dry. I mean, I kind of expected that a little bit out of her, but also we figured out that we're going to be getting Tenille Dashwood and Alicia Edwards in the tournament. They're going to be tagging up. I guess we'll see how well they get along. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see who Jordynne Grace finds for the tournament.
I hope they don't put the title on Alicia Edwards.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't.
I'm just not impressed by Alicia Edwards. So I mean, and it's interesting you say that because I wonder what they're going to do with Jordynne Grace then. Where they're going to put her in turn, because of course she'll be in it. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Brian Myers versus Swoggle. I didn't watch this match because I did not care about this match at all. I mean, you didn't re-sign the Rascals, but you put in Swoggle on your pay-per-view. Come on now. I mean, did you have any thoughts on that, or should we go to Chris Sabin and James Storm versus Triple H?
I mean, this match was, I don't know. I kind of got behind this match a little bit, but sometimes in the back of my mind, I go like, I always think about the bad stuff that they did to Swoggle in WWE, and I just can't take Swoggle seriously sometimes. I mean, but there are some points in the match where like he hit a German suplex, he hit Hurricanrana, and I was kind of rooting for Swoggle to actually win a little bit. I'm like, come on, Swoggle, win. But no, of course he didn't win. Brian Myers just hits a clothesline and gets to 1, 2, 3. But after the match, Brian Myers just beats him up. Like, come on, Brian Myers, come on, go pick on somebody your own size. But while he was getting beaten up, while Hornswoggle was getting beaten up, Crazy Steve came out. So it looks like we're going to be getting a feud with Crazy Steve and Brian Myers. I'll tell you what, Brian Myers, he goes through a lot of rivalries really quick here. Because like he went through the rivalry with Tommy Dreamer really quick. And then now he's just gotten done with
and Willie Mack, right?
Willie Mack.
Yeah, with Willie Mack. That's interesting though, because that's so interesting. Like that. I don't know. I don't. That's all I gotta say is.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff is interesting that they're doing here. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, at least they're trying to do some, storylines here. But like bringing Crazy Steve into us, I understand. He's trying to help his best friend Swoggle out, but
The reason it's interesting, Justin, is because I don't think Crazy Steve's really had a lot of singles feuds. So that's what intrigues me a little bit is that it's like what can Crazy Steve do as a singles guy? Because we haven't really seen Crazy Steve. I mean, not that I don't. I mean, well, he technically, I guess, is a singles guy now. Because of course he doesn't have a faction to kind of fit into. So interesting. I mean, I'm intrigued. It intrigues me because we haven't really seen much Crazy Steve outside of being in a faction, and I think he's
true.
done some good work in factions.
Hmm.
Interesting pairing with Chris Sabin and James Storm. I think Alex Shelley is actually hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's
Going up
actually
against
hurt. I thought it was just for a storyline at
yeah,
one point.
going up against Triple XL. Triple XL is really growing on me a lot. I like Triple XL a lot. I like the kind of super heavyweight type tag team that they are. They seem like a type of team that couldn't that wouldn't be beat or couldn't be beat. One of those type of teams. I caught the back end of this match, and it was a match that I did enjoy from what I saw. And it's cool to see James Storm. It's interesting because of course he's not going to stay with Chris Sabin forever, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. There was rumors that his run in TNA, this run right here that he's having currently, would be more like a one-off type thing. Uh, so that may not be true at all, and he may be there for the long haul, whatever that means in wrestling. But still a very interesting match. I felt like I like I like Triple XL. In a way, I kind of wish they would have won. Because you would have got a chance to beat even if it was kind of by hook or by crook. You still got a chance to beat a team that is not established as a tag team, but they are established in their own individual tag teams. Of course, James Storm and America's Most Wanted and Beer Money, and then of course Chris Sabin with Alex Shelley. So I think it would have been good for Triple XL to win this match. I don't think they did, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, it was the beer guns won. That's what I'm calling this team,
Yeah,
the beer guns.
beer guns. Yeah, yeah.
I, no, I actually thought this was a fun match. And fun fact here. So like back in 2010 or 11, somewhere around there, we actually had Beer Money and it was actually James Storm and Chris Sabin them helping each other out. And then now in 2020, we have them helping each other out again, which is kind of interesting. I think it was like back at like Samiversary 2011 or something. They helped each other out there, so I think that's pretty interesting. Like they beat the British invasion, so that's a fun fact there. But on to this match, I thought this match was all right. The right people went over here. I mean, Chris Sabin, he got dominated a lot because I felt the storyline's actually believable, because with Chris Sabin, he didn't have a partner, he was looking for somebody, and then yes, he found somebody like with, they're not as big as Triple XL, but at the same time, he's kind of bigger than Chris Sabin, so you kind of find some backup, and like you said, these guys mesh well together, like Chris Sabin and James Storm mesh well together because they with their own separate tag teams, Beer Money and the Motor City Machine Guns. So I like how they put these teams together, and they faced off multiple times, so they know what they capable of doing. But I feel like the Riot guys went over here, the faces went over because like why would you have James Storm lose on the second match back? I mean that just doesn't make any sense. But I feel like if this rivalry, if Alex Shelley didn't get injured, I feel like that would have been this match, and maybe they would just like kind of continue this feud with Triple XL and Motor City Machine Guns. But I thought this was a fun match. Though. It was enjoyable.
Real quick to the Beat Rohit challenge. Cousin Jake got the answer to the challenge, which I thought was weird. I think we both thought it was going to be Manic, kind of because TJP can't compete. He couldn't compete in it or whatever. Weird, weird. Like I don't really understand it. I didn't feel like. I mean, it was one of those things that was weird and predictable. Because it was like Rohit's not going to lose to Cousin Jake. So I mean, yeah, it was dumb. I didn't like it. Thought it was a dumb decision. I like that Rohit won. I like Rohit as the champion. But I mean, whatever. After the match, this is when Eric Young came out with Joe. How do you say his name?
Joe
Doring.
Dorian or something like that.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And he kind of destroyed the Deaners, which is weird too, because it didn't really put Eric Young in a particular spot. Like, is he going to team up with Joe and go after who? And he'd had a match against Rhino, I think, years back. But I mean, what's going to happen with this? Like, is it going to put Eric Young in the tag team division now, or like, it's kind of like, is he going to kind of be like the muscle for Eric Young, or what? I mean, and my biggest thing was, I mean, like, the commentators tried to, especially Josh Matthews, tried to like hype it up for me, but I don't know the guy, so it was like, I was like, okay, and he looked out of shape to me, so it was like, well, like on one hand, if you get a enforcer type guy come in and he's friggin' jacked to the gills, and I'm like, whoa, like, okay, I mean, I might not know him, but goodness, okay, but like, he didn't seem like he was in the best of shape. He didn't seem like a guy who could beat up everybody. He just did some power moves, and I just wasn't impressed. It was like very underwhelming to me. That's what it came off to for me. I mean, if you're not gonna bring somebody in from WWE or wherever that's well known, then he's got to at least look like a beast. Like, even when Tozawa had the ninjas, and then he had the really tall guy that used to play at UCF. Like, we don't know him. He's not a wrestler, but he's huge. So you're like, okay, I can take this guy seriously. But when you come in overweight and look like you haven't wrestled in years, even though I'm sure he has, but I mean, when you come in looking overweight, it doesn't help your cause, I don't think. But what were your thoughts on the Beat Rohit challenge?
Yeah, so I definitely do agree. Like, that was kind of weird that cousin Jake answered the call, because like, he just doesn't fit the style of an X Division wrestler. Like, not at all. And like I said, like, all my predictions, I said it might be Suicide or Manic, whatever they call him at this point. I don't know. I thought it could have been him, because I knew that TJP couldn't go for a title. I knew that Chris Bay couldn't go for a title. I knew that Willie Mack, because he was already he was in the match at Moose later on in the night. So I was like, really, who could it be? So they picked cousin Jake. I mean, like I said, this was kind of random. I mean, the match wasn't bad. Like, I thought that maybe he could have lost if it would have been like Manic or somebody, but I go like, no, he's not losing now. He's not going to lose it to cousin Jake, of all people. But I kind of did like at the end, like, I think it was random with Eric Young coming out, being the Rohit and being the cousin Jake, being up the Deaners, with his, kind of big bodyguard, Joe Dorian. So are they going to, like I said, I don't know what they're going to do with them over here. Like, are they going to have this rough shot over the whole Impact roster? Go back for a world title? Because I did see Eric Young tweet something on Twitter about going, oh yes, I'm happy that you retain. Alluding to Rich Swan retaining the title. So is he going to go back for the world title again? Like, or is Eric Young going to go for the X Division? Like, I don't know what they're going to have him do here. It's just kind of a little random, man. And I heard that, Joe Dorian, he's like a Triple Crown winner in like New Japan or something. But like, I never really saw much of this guy before. Like, and I kind of agree with DJ a little bit. Like, kind of didn't look the greatest in shape. He kind of looked a little fat, as I like to say. And he's fat. But I think they might be churning Rohit Raju face, because I don't know, with the game, like with the kind of stuff he's been doing lately and what we saw last night. I feel like they could churn him. This could be a good time to churn him face. But I think, because I would love to see a face Rohit Raju, because he's just all the shenanigans he's doing. Like how he's winning his matches and stuff. And at least he didn't win the match by like using the help of the referee here. So that was good. But no, it was enjoyable though. It was fun. Kind of like a nice swerve here. But yeah.
Moving into Moose and Willie Mack. I don't have much to say about this match. I mean, I like the match. It was just kind of like Moose being aggressive and kind of doing what EC3 told him to do. They mentioned EC3 a couple times in the match. I mean, I knew Willie Mack wasn't going to win for what it was worth. So I mean, you know, okay, Willie Mack won the disqualification, but Moose retained. But still, like, I don't know. I love Moose, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I love Moose, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like it's like a slow build to him going after the world title. So it's like, I like it, but at the same time, I'm ready for the world title aspect of things too. So, what were your thoughts?
This wasn't like really any like a crazy match here. I mean, Moose is kind of following his own narrative now. He's being this big badass heel basically.
And they mentioned that a couple times too.
Yeah, he's following his own narrative, and every time Moose was getting hit, he kind of does. He's kind of seeming like this insane type of guy. He kind of laughs at Willie Mack here. Like, I don't like how this match ended in a disqualification. Also, I don't like how Moose got disqualified because the referee, like, he was just getting hit. Moose was just hammering him with elbows. Like, it's a wrestle match. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, why did they need to disqualify him? I understand.
I guess it was because it was kind of malicious and like I don't know, like that was kind of weird, but
I guess they're maybe trying to protect Willie Mack here. But at the same time, I mean, like, make that heel look dominant. And I think that they're finally, going like, okay, yeah, this is our guy. We're going to pull the trigger with him, which I want them to do like really soon here. Because I would love to see Moose as the world champion. I think maybe around like next summer, so he's gonna be in that main event picture. Like, he's gonna be going for that world title here. But like you said, I think it's kind of gonna be like a slow burn a little bit, going to him get to the title. But so I guess he's gonna be beating down a whole bunch of people, like beating down the whole roster, to get to the title.
Looks like it. Speaking of new champions, the North versus the Good Brothers for the tag titles. Interesting. I don't think they expected Alex Shelley to get hurt, so I guess I think what they wanted to do was give the Good Brothers the win at Bound for Glory, but then Alex Shelley got hurt, and they felt like they wanted to call an audible to kind of surprise us a little bit. So I think that's why they did this, because I don't think you could have Alex Shelley win the title, retain the title by himself. So I think that's why they gave it to the North. Let the North win, and then have the Good Brothers kind of beat a good kind of young team in Impact, I guess you could say. But yeah, definitely, I thought this was a very good match. The Good Brothers finally got the tag titles, which not really surprised. I think it was, we were expecting it. I think we expected it at Bound for Glory, and then they kind of just waited until Turning Point to do it. But I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily match of the night or nothing, but pretty good match, and cool to see the Good Brothers win the titles. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought this was a fun match. I mean, I wasn't surprised that the Good Brothers did win because, they've been on top of at the top of every main event picture, like at the top of every tag team division in every company, WWE, New Japan, they won all those titles there. And now they finally got the TNA World titles. I mean, I'm happy about that. And that the pay-per-view that this guy doing, that Talking Shop or whatever, that Talking Shop of Mania or something like that, I can't exactly remember. I heard that was pretty good. But I mean, this was a fun match. I mean, both these teams worked really well together. Like, nothing too crazy came out of this match. I thought, but it was a solid match nonetheless. And I'm happy that we got new tag team champions here.
Now, speaking of match of the night, potentially Su Yung and Deonna Purrazzo. Now that was a good match. No DQ match. They used a lot of different things, a lot of foreign objects, as you say. They used like a canvas and a lot of different things. I just remember that one in particular. because it was a good little reversal where Su Yung was trying to go. No, Deonna Purrazzo. Su Young's going for the miss. Deonna Purrazzo had the canvas. She held it up and then hit Su Yung over the head with it, which was cool. I thought that was good. They worked really well together in this match. I felt like a little surprised that Deonna came through with the win though, because it, I think it was another one of those situations where they had to call an audible and they were going to take the title off of Deonna to give it to Kylie Rae, and then of course with Kylie Rae, either of course retiring or taking time off, whatever it may be. They did that audible. They said we were gonna take the title off Deonna, so that's what we're gonna do. And now they have to I think they wanted to give it back to her because I don't think Su Young's the type of character that needs a title. It's one of those type of characters that doesn't really need a title to be relevant. I mean, of course, it needs to do the things that it needs to do in storyline to be relevant, not necessarily win titles. But good match, very good match. I enjoyed it. I think. I like these two. I like both of them. It's very interesting. And I wonder. I don't know if they. I mean, we've had Susie for a while, so I don't think they'll go back to Susie or anything like that. But I really enjoyed Su Young's kind of second run in Impact because I didn't like her at first. And now I'm kind of enjoying her a little bit more. And I guess it kind of helps that Rosemary's doing a little bit of a different thing that she was originally. She was kind of that demon assassin type thing, and Su Yung came off as the same thing to me. But now, it does feel different, especially with Rosemary being a little bit more human, I guess, humanized a little bit. But still a very good match, possibly even match of the night. Very, very good match. Cool that Deonna has it back because I really did feel like I felt like Deonna could have kept it longer, in her first run. So it felt like she was really starting to hit her stride and be very good with the title. She's a very good champion. She carries herself well. So, thoughts on the Knockouts title match? I think we got one more match after.
Yeah. I thought this match was fun. I wasn't really expecting a title change, 2 back-to-back. I really wasn't expecting that here. And especially in a no disqualification match, that kind of fits Su Yung more than it does fit Deonna Purrazzo because Deonna Purrazzo is more that, more that technical wrestling type of style. And, Su Yung, she does more that, she's more crazy. She likes to use weapons more. But I thought this was really interesting here. I do like that spot, like DJ said, with Canvas when Su Yung tried to spit in the face of Deonna Purrazzo, and Deonna Purrazzo hits it over the top of Su Yung. I thought that was a cool spot. We saw some kendo sticks in here. We saw we saw Su Yung bring out the ropes. I thought she was going to tie up. Deonna Purrazzo there for a minute during the match, but no, that didn't happen. I kind of like there was one spot where Deonna Purrazzo, she had on it was her submission. What's her submission called? Is it an armbar? No, not an armbar. It's
I've heard it 1,000 times and can't. And of course, when you put me on the spot, I can't remember it. But
it's like an armbar or something like that. Yeah, it's an armbar, double armbar or something like that. Like she put it behind her back. Yeah,
I love how she put the chair on her head.
That was nice. I don't like how she got rid. She kind of dropped the hold. Like you thought that Su Yung was knocked out.
Yeah,
and then the referee did the count. 1, 2, and of course Su Yung rose her hand up there.
This the double Fujiwara armbar.
Fujiwara armbar. That's what it is. The double Fujiwara armbar. I really wasn't. And also, I really wasn't expecting Su Yung to lose off of the pile driver. I wasn't expecting her to lose that way. It was kind of crazy. So I like that they put it on her because at Bound for Glory, they kind of had to do an audible here at Bound for Glory. Put it since Kylie Rae's on the match, well, we'll give it to Su Yung. So now I think that they're going to get on to the actual plans, what they plan to do with Deonna Purrazzo. Have her have a more lengthy title reign because I don't want them to keep hot potatoing the title because I do not like that. But at the same time, fans go like, "Oh no, I hate when champions have a long title reign." But then you complain when they have a short title reign. So it's hard to please. And we talked about this many times. It's hard to please fans sometimes. You just can't with wrestling fans. But Yeah, I'm happy that they gave the title back to her though.
Right.
And
Yeah.
who knows what they're going to do with Su Young now? What does she do?
That's
Does she
what
go
I'm
back?
wondering.
Like, does she go back to Susie? Like, what is she going to do?
I think they should turn her heel and I mean, I know everybody knows what's going on with Callie Ray, but like, I don't know. I was thinking they should turn her heel and do something with Callie Ray, but since they've already put that news has already came out, you can't really make it into a storyline anymore. So I don't know. Yeah, that is very interesting. Rich Swan and Sami Callihan was also a very good match. I'm gonna let you give your thoughts first, and then what's how I'll give mine. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was. I think this was match of the night in my opinion. Like we saw, this rivalry goes back until like last year because we had, Sami Callihan trying to get Rich Swan to join OVE last year, and I kind of like how they do these slow burn type of storylines, which I like this a lot. And two different contrasts in the styles. You had the high flying style of Rich Swan. You had the kind of slower pace, a more methodical pace of Sami Callihan here. Doing like some buckle bombs, and like you have Rich Swan flying all over the place. Like two really good contrasting styles here. And I like when we saw Ken Shamrock walking down to the ring. I got like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Could we see another title hand change here? Because we already had two. Why not? Could say a third one. You never know what Impact's gonna do. But of course, we saw Eddie Edwards come out and help out. Try to make it even for Rich Swan, so Ken Shamrock wouldn't get involved. But nonetheless, Rich Swan did end up retaining the title after he super kicked Sami Callihan a whole bunch of times in the face. So I like that though. I think this is pretty interesting. I don't really think this is going to be the end of Sami Callihan being at the top of this main event picture because like he's just a star over here, and like he's just. I love the
You
stuff that
can't call somebody the draw and then not let them be the draw. Now.
Exactly. But no, this was a fun match though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I would say a match of the night candidate as well. I like Perazo and Su Young a hair better, but definitely match of the night candidate. I thought it was really good. Very enjoyable match. I mean, I love Sami Callihan. He's one of my favorites. I think one of the more underrated wrestlers right now is Sami Callihan. I think he's a beast. I think he's a beast. His promo work's really good, especially his heel work. His heel work is amazing. And he just I think he's just really good. I like like you said, they got this chemistry. And similar to the two knockouts we talked about before, they got this chemistry. Where it just feels like they just know exactly what to do to make the match tick. And both of these matches, those last two matches, were perfect in that way because they had that chemistry. So I mean, I wasn't surprised that Sami didn't win, but at the same time, I'm liking Rich Swan's run, and I think, of course, I think there's a means to an end for it. I don't know if it's going to be Moose or what it's going to be, but I mean, it's a nice run though. It's a nice, I think, surprising run. I feel like, but I mean,
I
nonetheless,
totally agree. Yep.
yeah. If you have any more thoughts on Turning Point?
Going into the show, I wasn't really expecting a whole lot, coming out of this, because it was just an Impact Plus special. This recently got done with Bound for Glory, but I like how they're continuing stuff here and to go on to the regular, their Impact weekly shows. I like that there. And also, they made this show basically for free, everybody, so people can actually check this out. And these casual fans, who go like, oh, I watched WWE, let me check out. Oh, I see the Good Brothers won the tag titles. Oh, I see that Deon Purrazzo won back the, Knockouts title. Maybe I should tune into Impact more. It gets more eyes on the product here. So I enjoyed that. I like how we had some title changes here. We had some continuing the feuds here. So overall, I thought this was a solid show, fun, enjoyable, night of wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those shows that was like, it was good when it was good, and it was when it was that's
I agree.
Like there were some matches I just did not care to see, did not want to see, did not watch, and probably won't watch. But like when you got to Sami Callihan, Rich Swan, Deonna Purrazzo, and Su Yung, and then the tag team titles, of course, too. Like when you get to stuff like that, then it's a little bit more interesting. I mean, even with the debut, I may not have been excited, about the debut, but at the same time, it was still cool to see. I mean, it's always cool to see a debut, even if it is a little underwhelming, I think. But nonetheless, definitely hope you guys enjoyed this little quick review, abbreviated review, I guess. I guess abbreviated, 35 minutes. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Abbreviated review. But definitely hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching on Facebook right now, or on YouTube or wherever you may be watching, be sure to give us a like, share the video as well. Subscribe if you are on YouTube, and you can listen to us on various platforms as well. Just Google ICW. ICW, Google Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. I'm thinking of the Twitter, ICW_podcast Twitter, but Google the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast.
Because we are Googleable.
Yeah, we are. So make sure to Google that, and you can find us and listen on the road or wherever you listen to things that you listen to, with your AirPods and your fancy headphones. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys on the next review, whatever that review may be. We'll see you guys on that one. At worst, NFL picks if you're an NFL fan. That'll be coming soon as well. We'll see you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.